So over the last 18 months, I've been able to scale my agency to over $500,000 a year. The reason I've been able to achieve this is because I've avoided one key mistake that I see so many agency owners making. And in this video, I'm going to explain what that mistake is and how you can avoid it. Because the truth is, you can have everything. You can have all the scripts, all the templates, all the systems. But if you're missing out on this one key piece of information, then you just simply won't be able to make it work. Like at the beginning when I started, this was happening. I had everything. I watched all the YouTube videos, followed all the scripts, I used all the templates, I used the exact softwares and tools, but I wasn't seeing success until one thing changed. And I'm going to explain that in this video. So stick around till the end because I'm going to explain exactly what it is. Hope you enjoy the video. So you want to sign clients, but you're struggling. You've probably tried a load of different things, doing cold email, LinkedIn, ads, doing outreach, and none of it seems to click. Over the last 2 years, I've perfected this skill at booking sales calls and signing clients. My name's Harry, I'm the CEO and founder of a company called Acquired, and this year we managed to hit $100,000 cash collected in 1 month. We've had $15,000 days, and I've even set up my company in Dubai. You can see our business does not struggle to book sales calls in the slightest, and I've spent a very, very long time perfecting and mastering this skill. But of course, it wasn't always like this. Right? At the very start, when I first started trying to sign clients, I saw no success. I didn't actually sign any clients. It was embarrassing. I committed myself to this. I told my friends and family I was going to make it doing this, and it wasn't working. So I needed to get back to the drawing board and figure out why things weren't working. Because the truth is, I have similar systems now to what I had back then. They're not that different. I just operated them extremely differently. So the issue might not be all the scripts, all the systems, everything you're using, because you're probably getting that off YouTube videos and courses and content anyway. The problem is actually within yourself. And I'm going to explain how you can fix this, right? But obviously when I first started trying to sign clients, it didn't work. It wasn't the systems, it was me and my beliefs, okay? I had everything really I needed when I first started. I had the systems, I had the scripts, I had the tools, I had the softwares, I had some half decent communication skills, not good, but they got me to a point where I could speak to people on sales calls, right? And one thing I didn't lack was work ethic. I was willing to put in the work no matter what. And this is a picture of me when I pretty much very first started my agency, done a lot of work from that laptop, but it wasn't working. Like I remember sitting in this coffee shop, it was like a local cafe close to my house, and just wondering, like, I'd committed everything to this. I was just wondering when it was actually going to start working, and it just wasn't working at that point, right? And I just wanted to understand why. Until I started reading a lot of books, going into detail on a lot of videos, and I genuinely started to understand that it was probably my belief system that was actually stopping me. This became very, very apparent to me when I very first got started into SMMA, because I had a mentoring call with a guy that was helping people set SMMA agencies up for like £50, right? So I paid this guy £50 and he gave me this roadmap. He gave me everything I needed. He gave me the scripts, the tools, the softwares. He gave me genuinely everything I needed to see success. And I remember on this call, ignore the picture of me here, but on this call, I remember vividly him telling me I was going to make $10,000 before the end of the year. And I think this was in maybe October time or September. I had 3 months. And he was telling me, if you follow this, you can genuinely make $10,000 before the end of the year. And this was around 2 years ago that he told me this. And I remember as soon as he said that to me, genuinely, like, I couldn't comprehend it. My mind couldn't comprehend it. I felt a little bit sick in my stomach. I just couldn't comprehend making that much money online because I'd never done it before. I didn't think I was capable of doing it. And even though if I genuinely followed everything he said and actually done it, I probably would have done it. I didn't hit it. I didn't hit it. I failed, right? Because the belief caused me to miss hitting this goal, because I didn't truly believe in my stomach I was capable of doing this. When he was telling me this, I felt extremely nervous, uneasy. And that, of course, led to me taking actions which reflected that. I didn't do all the cold calling he told me to. I missed out on days of cold calling and things like this, right? But that stemmed from my belief system. I thought, am I really going to commit these 2-3 months dialing 100 people a day if it's not going to amount to the goal, because I don't genuinely think I'll be able to hit it deep down? And that is what caused me to fail. And I saw these loops happen multiple times. I would have the systems given to me, I'd have the scripts given to me, I'd have everything given to me, but I still couldn't hit the goal. And it was because of my belief system. So if you're not hitting the goals, it likely could be because of this belief system you have installed in yourself, which luckily you can rewire, right? and I call it breaking your character. This is something that will really, really help you see success. Now, what happened, a lot of people, obviously if you're in the agent space, you will know this guy. So I started watching a lot of email videos, and he was basically saying like the old traditional way of making money was useless, okay? This is obviously around the time I started my agency. And at the time I was working a 9 to 5, I was working in the office, I wasn't enjoying it, I knew that I didn't want to be there forever. And it basically prompted me to realize that subconsciously, even though I didn't like that job, I still had it there as something to fall back on, right? And I wasn't pushing myself as hard as I could do because I knew I had something to fall back on if I wasn't making those $100 a day. If I wasn't pushing myself to the absolute limit and making myself extremely uncomfortable, I felt, oh, it's okay because I've still got income, I've still got a place to sleep, I've still got, food to eat, I've still got something to fall back on. So this led me to take the action to burn the boats. This was the best thing I ever done in my life, burning the boats, right? So I took quite an extreme action of quitting my job. Even though I wasn't making really any money, I think I made maybe £1,000 online, my business, £1,000 a month, that is, which is less obviously than my job. I knew this would force me to make it work. I had no option at this point. I burnt the boats, quit the job, and came home basically to live in my parents' house and make the online business work with no plan B. This was all in or nothing. Like there was no, failure was not an option here. At least that's the way I trained my mind to think about it. I was not stopping. I was working 12, 15 hours a day until I hit the goals that I needed to. There was nothing stopping me here, right? From this point, I unlocked a lot of power. This is when I mentioned about breaking your character. This is when I broke my character. I basically rebuilt my mindset to wire it to actually work hard and success. So there's no more partying, pissing about, going on the weekend. There's no more drinking. There's no more of any of this shit. I was cutting out all friendships that weren't beneficial to me. I went very, very extreme with it, but it was the best thing that I could have done because especially being out here in Dubai, you meet a lot of people who have gone through similar journeys and they've rebuilt their mindset, right? And they've rebuilt their character, and you have the capability to do that. All you need to do is just figure out what you actually want and figure out who is the person capable of achieving that. I knew I needed to hit $10,000 a month. I didn't want to, I needed that to happen in my life for me to achieve my goals. So I rewired myself to become the person that is capable of doing that. What does the £10,000 a month person do? He makes $100 or cold calls a day, whether he feels like it or not. He follows up with every single prospect on email. He makes sure everything goes through, everything's tracked, all the numbers are hit, the scripts are being tested. Everything that £10,000 a month person does, I was doing because I knew I was becoming that person, right? So from this point on, I broke my character. The old Harry was no more. I was not going out on the weekend. I was not, just getting in all of this nonsense. I was working non-stop, which at the time was genuinely a little bit unlike me, right? My friends told me I was not the same person. My family said, you completely changed, right? And that's because I changed the character and I knew what needed to be done. I had absolute zero tolerance for anything that wasn't going to hit my goal. I knew what my goal was, and at the time it was that £10,000 a month. I had that as the North Star. Every single decision I made, I questioned whether it was actually helping me get closer to the North Star, even as far as going to the gym. If I went to the gym and spent 60 minutes, I thought about how much cold calling or how many messages I could have sent in that time and if it was worth it. Obviously, I didn't give up the gym. That would have been a stupid decision long term, but I genuinely broke down every single thing. All of these time sort of sucks that I had in my life, all these energy sinks that I had, and I cut out everything that wasn't helping me get towards my goal. And it was funny because obviously this started to help, right? I went from half-assing it with uncertainty and sort of having that plan B to going all in. Nothing was spared at this point. I just 100% all in, was just locked in every single day, pure focus, Monday to Sunday on repeat, okay? And obviously during this process, I was asked myself, this character that I want to build, that person that hits £10,000 a month and £100,000 a month, what do they do? How do they act? How long do they work a day? How many messages do they send? What sort of content do they produce? Who do they hang out with? What sort of food do they eat? And I built this character for myself that I started to work on, okay? And actually forced myself to fucking do it. This was probably the hardest bit. It's all good creating these motivational plans. It's the same thing with fitness. You can create a motivational plan, you can create a meal plan, you can create a workout plan, but it doesn't mean fucking anything if you don't do it. So you need to actually force yourself to do it. However you do that, I don't care, but you need to do it. And this was very, very important. If you start with just the first step, it will make everything so much easier. So with content, a lot of the times I don't want to record content. What I do is I just start a camera. And if I'm just sitting there, I'm just doing whatever I'm doing, I realize the camera's on and I start speaking to it. I start to get into a flow and then I start to create content. It's the same with going to if you don't want to go to the gym, just put your gym clothes on at home. Then you're one step closer. Then it makes it easier to going outside, to get into the gym and getting it done. Same with work. If you don't want to do your work, just get up in front of you the stuff you need to do and just type one word or just type 2 words. That will start the ball rolling and start the momentum. Same with cold calling. If you don't want to make any calls, just force yourself to make 1. I guarantee if you make 1, you're going to make 2, and then it's going to start compounding from there, okay? So just force yourself to take the very, very first step. And a little trick is to optimize your environment to make it easier to take the first step, right? I think this is in a book called Atomic Habits. You can basically like habit stack. So if you know you need to read before you go to bed, and the last thing you do is brush your teeth, put the book right next to your toothbrush, right? So as you go to brush your teeth, you're reminded that, oh, I need to read this book. Just start by reading 1 page, soon that'll turn to 10, and then you've done it, okay? But just start by taking that very first step. A lot of times for me, it was just opening my laptop and sending 1 cold outreach message. Once I'd done that, I realized if I do 1, it's completely useless, and I need to do even more. But it was just taking that first step that really helped me, okay? And then after I'd done this for some time, honestly like 4 weeks, after I just committed myself 100%, no excuses, nothing spared for 4 weeks, something crazy started to happen. I went from really struggling to sign clients, like making £1,000 a month with this online business, to within 1 week, I remember this so clearly, within 1 week I collected £5,000. Right, I think I signed 5 new clients for £1,000 each in 1 week. I made £5,000. I made a YouTube video on this. It's on private right now, so you can't actually see it. Maybe I'll release it again one day, but it's talking about the mindset. So I posted this, I think it's December 2024 now. I think I posted this in like April 2023, as soon as I quit my job. And even then, the reason why I said I was able to sign those clients, I literally just said it there, was because I changed my mindset. It's in the video, okay? And that's the truth. You really need to change your mindset. I remember from this video, my life changed. I realized that I could actually make money online, and it wasn't as hard as I thought it was, just because I changed my mindset. This person here had the same systems that I did when I was struggling, the same scripts, the same templates, the same sequences, the same everything, but I didn't have the same mindset. My mindset was much stronger here, and that allowed me to hit my goal. So that was pretty crazy. So the question begs, how can you do the same? How can you actually do the same here? What you need to do is rebuild your character, because the chances are you're probably not hitting every single goal you want to. If you are, then you wouldn't have watched this far in the video. So I know that you need basically some assistance with this. So you need to rebuild your character. Very, very detailed and specific. It's no good just saying, oh, I want to be someone who goes to the gym. No, you need to go into very, very specific detail. And I do this to myself often as well, because you need to always do it. Okay, what do you wear? What does he do? Like, what business does he run day to day? How many emails do you send out? What sort of events do you go to? Who do you speak with? Who do you hang out with? What sort of food do you eat? How many times do you exercise? All of this builds your character. And you want to create a character that is the person capable of achieving that goal. So if your goal is £1 million a year, okay, build a character of that person. There's multiple people who hit £1 million a year. What do they do? What are their common traits? What are the commonalities between these people? And build your own version of that character. And then every day work towards doing that. And if you do that, you'll be so surprised at how you actually will turn into that character just by subconsciously thinking about it. The subconscious mind is so strong. It's so strong. It will force you to take actions which reinforce your beliefs. And then that leads to even stronger actions, which leads to even stronger beliefs. And it's a positive cycle. All you need to do is start by having that belief system out and start by actually taking that action. So this will force you, if you ask yourself these questions and create a list, this will force you to take the action needed to succeed. And you'll realize subjectively from like a bird's eye view, okay, this is what I actually need to do to hit this goal. For example, if your goal is £10,000 a month and you're in a job that's consuming 12 hours of your day every day, it's very unlikely you're going to hit that unless you're going to hit it with a job, right? I'm talking about like a standard 9 to 5. You need to look at it objectively. The chances are, if you want to hit your goals, you need to leave that. Yes, it's uncomfortable. Yes, you don't want to do it. But if you want to hit your goals, then you need to get uncomfortable. You need to burn the boats, burn the bridge, and go for it. So yeah, that's it. If you want, obviously, some help with this, scaling your agency, signing clients, maybe even some mindset stuff, then book a call directly with me one-to-one. I've got my link in the description, and I'll be happy to speak with you if that's of interest. But if not, no worries, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.